Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded.
I may be deluded, but you're lucky you ain't dead, seeing how she seems partial to using her friends as victims.
Does she? It occurs to me that you have provided no proof of what you're accusing her of.
Why don't you take a long look at me? This is all because she betrayed us, her team, her friends, even the one whose life she saved in Triangulum.
By the architect. You're Niles, aren't you? She mentioned you a few times, but refused to elaborate. All I knew was that she was fond of you, and that you were dead.
She was fond of me? Then why? Why would she try to kill me?
I can't say, but it may be one of the things she anguished over. An anguish I fear finally overwhelmed her, and could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. I wish I knew. It's nothing good, I can tell you that. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things. For some reason, she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That and the invasion itself set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. We became friends when she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say. For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter, and she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could. We all were, originally, before the schism. But she never gave it up, even when it became illegal to even mention their name. Which was surprising with how angry she seemed to be getting with them, even as she was deep into scheming with Victor and the others. She even continued to sign her messages, "See you in the equation." It's all so confusing. What do you mean? It was where she worked. One of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much. At least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be.
벌써 다
She's
죽여버렸는데.
unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. I understand.
죽여버릴 거야.
Perhaps it actually is for the best. I truly cannot say.
이걸 도와줘야지 열리는 거잖아. 그렇죠.
Take it up with the head office.
오, 산탄소. 반대편으로 가야 되는데?
first promotion accelerating activities done, and we've already got dropouts. Doozy of a drop, too. Can't believe Ormsby pegs these people as executive material. Me, sure. Them? Huh.
We can hear you.
Hush, Cobb. Today's task was about upward mobility. 3 died hanging the ropes. Told them they were doing it wrong. Dead include Assistant Hagen and other slackwits.
Show some respect.
Oh, like you care. You didn't even participate.
I told you, I got a cute lumbago.
Time to break camp for the next skill-building exercise, which I will surely dominate. This is Sanitation Specialist Cutshaw, soon to be VP of something big, signing off.
나 삥 돌아가야 되네.
Scout, report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. Eddie, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it. Its command has temporarily ceased actual fighting.
Those guards are mighty agitated. And some are wearing gas masks. Yeah, something ain't right here. We should be cautious.
Now what?
On your toe.
Back to square one, then.
지나가야 되네. 통과. 그러니까 미스터 돌아갔을 듯.
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality.
Huh. Well,
All inhabitants
this is not shooting the water anymore.
insufficient zeal in
How
defense.
empty are the lives of empty subjects that they need to rely on consumerism to find meaning?
Greetings. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance.
Of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time.
I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna.
We are of like minds. We lack not the skill to do so. Our wily chief mechanist can reprogram the mech, but not without parts. Unfortunately, we lack ready availability of said parts.
And through the Sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us...
Why, we're traitors, obviously. We've not fulfilled our duties as members of the Protectorate. It is incumbent upon us to fight to the death, yet we still live, as does our enemy. Now, either the Arbiters arrive to execute us, or this place falls under the vapid boot heel of Auntie's choice. No matter who wins, we cannot sustain ourselves here for long.
Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system...
My linguistic embellishments are somewhat beside the point. This here's a matter of accountability. Responsibility was mine. Disgrace and judgment should be mine solely as well. My intention is to absolve my subjects of any and all such blame. I owe it to every single person here to try.
Minor disruption.
Is
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assignment?
What sort of payment do you seek? Don't imagine we have much you need.
It's not just a good idea. It's the law.
Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask? Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient... Difficult place to saunter into. Station's off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in. Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here. Farewell now.
Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is...
Hey, Commander. Could I have a word with you real quick? I hope you're not seriously considering helping the Protectorate here. I know these folks seem on the down and out, but we're as like to do more harm than good by siding with them. Yeah, guess the choice ain't much of a snarl to untangle, is it? Either we help Westport or undermine it to satisfy Auntie's ambitions for Fairfield.
따라와,
Probably better
나이스.
still we keep our noses out of the whole messy business. But it's up to you, Commander.
Devise the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part,
Trust the plan, preserve said progress, sustain the system.
naturally, sometimes challenges
Glad the wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. I was tempted to feel sad after the ocean flooded my house.
robust ecosystem, like those nettlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice.
Almost missed the routine certitude of my assigned profession.
The system abides, but now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. Liquidate 'em!
어디 있는 거야?
waste them. On your command.
Looks like a fight. Let me handle this.
탄총이 짱이구만. 많아. 오케이. 고고고덜. 아, 별거 없잖아.
Sit or sprint? Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprag race. Just didn't account for all these crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, live lean off all these supplies, hope the crabbles skedaddle, or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
Niles.
Howdy, Zeb. You look... well.
Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
Can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters.
Zeb, this is the commander I told you about. One in charge of the Horizon Point mission.
So you're the one responsible for the severity of Niles' injuries. You ordered him to remain behind on a fruitless recovery effort.
Way to see the tank half full there, Commander.
So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine. That would depend on what vision you have for Arcadia's future. Everyone seems to think they alone know what's best for this colony.
Look, I'm not just here to gas you up with empty apologies. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's Baines. My team's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The cipher isn't transmitting...
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra! Fuck! It's all coming apart.
길어.
I knew something was wrong. What have you gotten yourself into here, Zeb?
That was one of my operatives. I organized the mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board. Please. Do you think me unaware of that obvious fact? But as I said, these are my friends. This was my plan. Regardless of the risks, I must try and see them return safely.
Sounds like a mission for two of the Earth Directorate's best. Don't you think, Commander? I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship, that means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad.
Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
Then let's hope the ship also takes its time arriving, and that my friend's pain threshold withstands any attempts to soften them up for the console.
저기 앞에 있는데 해킹하는 거야?
Do you always put your hands on other people's things?
다 그런 거 아니겠니, 얘야? 맞다 보네. 인종
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Uh-huh. Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else. Hello there. You wouldn't happen to have found any usable parts in all this debris? Westport's stockpiles of replacement parts are nearly depleted. I need to find some parts to convert some of our auto-mechanicals, non-combat parts. Fortunately, there's nothing here that's salvageable. Auntie's bombs sure take their toll, don't they? Unless I missed my guess, this looks like it was transporting damaged and malfunctioning automechs from the Vox station to the Automech Repair Center to the south of here. The center is... Say, you don't work for Auntie's, do you? This is beginning to feel more than a little like you're digging for intelligence. Fair enough. As I was saying, the Automech Repair Center is south of here. Regrettably, subjects of Westport no longer have access to the repair center, hence my need to scavenge. Likewise, and please inform me if you happen upon any usable parts.
경험치 5밖에 안 먹어? 조금 주는 거 아니냐 인간적으로?
Once we arrive at the Automech facility, we'll unload and begin cataloging the state of the various Automechs.
Are you recording the drive? Cadet, I do not believe this is what the Sergeant intended by documenting the process. Here, allow me to handle it. Now where's the off switch? Boyd, we're being bombed! Disembark! Lose formation to the beach, double time! We can take shelter in the rocks! Praise the Sovereign. We made it. Halt! Everyone quiet. What's that clacking noise? Oh, shit! Crabbles! Form defensive perimeter type 14A! Ah!
왜요? 축하합니다.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10
나의
steady
나이님
demerits if
미션
you're lucky.
5,000개 감사합니다.
Alright, let's not
게임
lose our
삭제.
heads over a simple
왜
misunderstanding.
나 이거 간만에 재밌게 하고
Feel free to
있는데
pass.
왜?
Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new
베트남도 이거
arrivals
해요.
personally.
재밌어.
We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight.
미션 실패.
And fair warning, watch out for Zeranium gas. We sprung a leak. Nothing too bad. Aside from the headaches, nightmares, missing teeth, and headaches. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
이건 RPG예요, RPG. 이건 RPG라고요.
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
게임 해도 해야죠. 왜 이래?
We repel in and offers a plenitude of natural resources.
저 어디 있어?
Might be wise to get that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it.
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Zeranium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment to study my symptoms.
Sovereign's mercy.
Downright privileged is how I feel.
First the attack, then there's Iranian. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
뭘 가져가야 되는 거야?
glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Anyway, if you have hands and a will to lend them, I won't turn away help. This gas leak of ours has proven inexhaustible, patient, and insidious. Zeranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. Speak with Delphinia Bryant. She needs all the support she can get, and I'll spare no resources on this particular problem. Her invention, once operational, will provide you a shield from the worst of the Zeranium. Her workshop is just past our clinic. Once you have the shield, see me about the leak. I'll give you all the details.
카페마.
See our acting quartermaster, Hazel. She'll know where the parts are and attend to the transaction.
젤리. 이거 버리고 싶은데.
Ambient Zeranium levels are higher than average, but within acceptable ranges. State your business. This unit was engineered to facilitate management of supply inventory at this installation.
Oh, this is surely exciting. Someone is finally trying out my automechanical quartermaster. Show them what you got, Quartermech.
Command not understood.
Huh. I thought that would have put it into sales mode. Best look into that later. Please, give it a try yourself.
All wares should be perfectly visible already.
Sorry, it tends to take things too literally. Maybe try phrasing the request differently.
Lull detected. Conversational status uncomfortable. Current inventory indicates 0 copies of item designated stuff. Transaction halted.
I see. It's mislabeling stuff as a specific request. I'll have to add additional linguistic support for collective nouns. Look, for now, just use the phrase initiate commerce. It's what I used during the initial testing.
Initiating commerce.
뭐 파는 게 없는데? 자동기계는 피해를 안 입어.
Oh, unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving.
얘한테 사는 게 아니었네.
Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies? Talk to my friend the quartermech here. You'd think that a fully stocked auto-mechanical repair center would have automech parts, and 9 times out of 10 you'd be spot on. Trouble is, a bunch of supplies went missing recently, right around the time the quartermech completed a routine inventory. You're not implying the quartermech is somehow responsible, are you? I'd hate for the big guy to get in trouble. The quartermech is my responsibility. Claim whatever parts you require from the missing supplies, and we'll call the matter settled. Delphinia's lab would be the place to search. We use it for storage, and our records indicate the supplies were present and accounted for.
Standard Earth Directorate protocol calls for a thorough grid search of the premises, Commander. Those parts are bound to turn up somewhere.
Are you acquainted with Delphinia? She's a scientist on loan from the Vox Relay, helping with the Zeranium leak and all. Delphinia is not very nice. Or maybe she just doesn't like me personally. Anyway, she's very talented, and I'm glad she's helping out. And I'm never going within 10 feet of her again. Best of luck in your search. Let me know if I can be of assistance. See you soon, I hope.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now, what is it you want? Now that you mention it, there was one particularly insistent little mech who kept trying to put all manner of bric-a-brac in here. After several firm remonstrations, I told it the interior of this building is off limits while I'm working here. Didn't see that peculiar little scamp again after that. Ah, our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. Assist me, and you'll get more than bits out of the equation. You'll get a prototype shield gadget, the first of its kind.
자꾸
Now tell
일만
me,
시켜
are you
이것들.
familiar with Zeranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable Zeranium all over the place. I could speak at length about Zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good, good, wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. So exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
아니라 이 씨발 도와주는 거잖아. 이 또라이 같은 전 이거. 있잖아.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Zeranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced paralysis, then became atypically aggressive. Forced to terminate test model in self-defense.
my little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? Until a more convenient date and time.
여기 아니야?
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have. Defend it.
First the attack, then there's Iranian. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
위에 어떻게 올라가?
Commander, I think this stuff is eating my lungs from the inside.
Seeing Zeb again went different than I expected. Not that I had high hopes for tears and confetti, but
여기 아니야?
understood. You won't catch me slacking in reverie. Not whilst there's still a colony to save. Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind?
오, 이거 바로 되는구나.
Not sure we should get any closer.
장비가 어딨지? 그냥 가도 되는 건가 보다.
you successful? I have tests that can be started immediately if so. What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. I require a component called a catalytic amplifier. You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. Don't be silly. Automechs, like the human body, are made of many parts. A liver won't do the job of the heart. Unfortunately for me, our chief mechanist, Woodrow, wasn't enthusiastic about my proposal to Geld his only combat automech. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
어쩌라는 거야 이 또라이.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, the original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. If you're really so desperate, you can track down our second Dragoon. Damn thing wandered up the coast and hasn't been seen since. I'd have sent someone to retrieve it myself, but Dragoons are stubborn when their instructions are unclear. Good hunting. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
까불고 있어. 자, 들어가.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier?
왔다 이 또라이야.
Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. Don't thank me. Just doing my part for the sake of the paradigm, same as anyone.
오.
What can I do for you this time? I knew Dr. Bryant would come through for us, that she'd prove her worth as surely as any subject of the Protectorate would. Seeing as you're the only one trained in the use of that gadget, what say you put it through its paces? Make your way inside the repair hangar and find the control terminal to purge the Zeranium. And be careful with that terminal. We don't want the situation getting any worse. Don't worry about Woodrow. Smart fellow, but his cautious nature gets in the way. Yes, there is some risk that exposure to Zeranium will corrupt our automechs, to use his colorful language. That shouldn't stop us from delivering them on time. I'm sure they'll be scrubbed clean once they arrive at the Vox relay. But that isn't our problem to solve. You be sure and come back once you've made progress on the leak.
하는데 이렇게 올라가야 되는 거구나. 빙고.
I can see the door, but ain't a way to reach it from here. Guess we'll have to take the long way around.
그냥 보고 하면 되는 거야?
How are you still upright over there?
한통이 짱이구만.
done. This uranium now spews from the hangar more thickly than ever.
공격했다가 다 뒤지는 거 아니야? 아, 이거 어떡하지?
You couldn't have bungled this operation worse if you were working with the enemy. This is my fault. The blame lies squarely on my shoulders. I gambled on an outsider rather than trusting my own resources, and now the price is paid. With this failure, I have likely doomed this entire island to the tender mercies of our enemies. No more will our stalwart subjects reap the bounty of this land. No more would the pleasant whine of servos accompany our mechanical servants in their noble servitude. Instead, this island will be trampled by the boots of our enemies. Its resources stripped bare, leaving nothing of the beauty we've cultivated over long years. As our stewardship is cast aside like so much detritus, harmony will be lost, and chaos will reign. Praise will give way to slogans, duty to greed, honor to contractual obligation. Freaks and worse will despoil that which is left behind, while bureaucrats will use this once proud land as a springboard for their superficial and petty ambitions. And with the island's fall, I may have dealt a crippling blow to the Protectorate itself. Our foes will use this place as a stepping stone, eating their way deeper into Eden like ravenous maggots. And it will all be my fault. I'll be remembered, if any of us is, as the one who lost it all. Yes, I suppose I have. Now please, leave me be.
He gives us the paradigm, and we were left to scramble for purpose and profit.
Welcome back. Well, look who it is. What is it? Speak your mind. That is most excellent. Please, hand them over. Yes, we had what you outsiders call a deal. I promised you a means past the bridge and a way inside the Vox relay. There is wreckage from a crashed ship traversing most of the expanse. With the right equipment, the path will lead you directly to the Vox relay's main gate. Tell me, do you already have Protectorate jump boots in your possession? That's what I knew them as. The official title is Personal Plasma Thrusters, I suppose. No, but we have an outpost up at Spire Grove. Requires a lot of cliff work. They likely have a prototype there. I'll prepare a writ of conscription to allow you entry to the Vox relay. While most would refuse my authorization, the sentry assigned to the gate once lived in Westport. Sentry second-class layman. Show the writ as proof I have conscripted you into my employ. Use it to press service on my behalf, and she will let you in. Once you're inside, there's someone else you should show it to. You do that and say what I tell you. It saved many lives.
Working with and through the Sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glory.
I can't offer you anything for it, but you've proven yourself sympathetic to our cause. Consider you a compatriot now. I'm counting on you to do right by folks here once more. Hopefully, you'll return afterward and find Westport thriving, all on account of your efforts. That is the only reward I'm able to offer. The Vox relay is, to my mind, a time bomb. Brigadier Montelli's lost his way. Now all manner of chaos is raging there. I've heard tell he's even resorted to extra-legal executions. Madness, I tell you. A brigadier doesn't act as judge, jury, and executioner. That's an arbiter's job. And even then, they're enforcing existing protectorate law. Marshal Corbin. As with all my subjects, I have been there when he needed me. I trust we can call on him now to do his part. Seek him out at the Vox relay, conscript him with the writ. And this is important. You must convince him to kill Montelli. Corbin will want to talk him down, to take him into custody, to message superiors outside the facility beforehand. We cannot allow any of that to happen. If Corbin becomes the highest-ranking officer alive, no one will be able to contradict his accounting of events. The Protectorate execute connivers and schemers. Corbin must appear forced to take down Montelli in the moment. It cannot feel like a plotted coup. Good, good. Here is the writ. I may not survive to see what occurs, but I trust you to follow your conscience. Farewell now. Promise you'll return here if you can, to check in on my people and see how they fare.
Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible...
That's all I ask. Farewell now.
The firm benevolent hand of the Sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and we have community, purpose.
You have your orders. The Vox relay awaits. Do remember what I asked of you.
Strenuous or stressful, food is nutritious and plentiful.
Nobody needs go anywhere. Not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. It'd have to be catastrophically obvious this place was doomed, and incontrovertibly beyond my means to save it, before I'd even consider such a recourse. Well, that's what's commonly referred to as your opinion. I have the aid of key pillars of our community, several persons of note and good character who stand with and by me, and our town still functions. Our automechs are still running, mostly. We have a generator to power them, fresh water, the reassuring voice of everyone's neighbor Prudence wafts from our loudspeakers. But I know you've got more to do than listen to me natter on about the state of Westport. The Vox Relay's your main concern now. Farewell now.
The Sovereign devised the paradigm, a meticulously... marvel where, if each of us does...
이렇게 해야 되는 거보다. 오늘은 여기까지 할게요. 재밌다 간만에. 합니다.